Surveys show that Americans see inflation as the biggest problem facing the country right now, and the households blame Biden for the price spike. The hotter than expected report will also have major implications for the Federal Reserve, like solidifying a series of aggressive rate hikes as central bank officials try to tame inflation. Policy lawmakers already raised the benchmark interest rate by 50 basis points, double the usual size, in May, and they're expected to approve at least 2 more similarly sized hikes in June and July. Republicans are also seizing on the report, slamming the president and his administration, as well as Democrats for the surging costs for American families. According to both JP Morgan Chase and Washington Post, bank balances in the United States soared as stimulus payments were being distributed, and they still remain higher than they were in pre-crisis levels. This potentially suggests that any additional stimulus payment won't go to the basic needs, as much as more discretionary purchases, which may drive prices higher still. Experts have told Yahoo News that a federal stimulus check could help many people cope with inflation, particularly those with lower income. According to Yahoo News, low-income households tend to have less money in emergency savings, so delivering some cash boosts could definitely help so many people. Folks, what are your thoughts on this? Is President Biden doing all that it takes to send the fourth stimulus check, or do you think he needs to do a better job on this and help out the American people with stimulus payments every single year? Tell me what you think in the comments below. So we have a ton of good news about the fourth stimulus check to cover in this video. I definitely don't want you to miss it, so continue watching. As gas prices have hit new record levels, Democrats are urging that gas relief checks be sent out as soon as possible. The administration is meeting with top lawmakers to put together a new crisis relief bill that will help so many people. According to ABC News, the average price of a gallon of gas, $5 a gallon. That's on Thursday. It crossed the milestone after a rapid rise over the past month has alarmed public officials and strained the budgets of everyday Americans. New AAA data shows that in all 50 states, the average price of a gallon of gas stood above $4.40. In California, the state with the highest gas price, and drivers paid an eye-popping average of $6.40 per gallon. The rising prices owe to a summer travel boom that has brought more people to the pump. Experts told ABC News last month that the spike in demand coincides with a shortage of crude oil supply. As consumer frustration has mounted in recent months, Biden has faced criticism over his handling of cost increases in essentials like fuel and groceries. Only 37% of Americans approve of Biden's handling of the economy. Republican leaders in Congress have faulted Biden's management of the U.S. oil supply for high gas prices, blasting his choice to shut down the Keystone Pipeline last year. In March, the U.S. and its allies announced the collective release of 60 million barrels of oil from their strategic reserves over the following months, which sought to alleviate some of the supply shortage and blunt price increases. The Transportation Secretary told ABC that inflation is Biden's top economic priority, and when asked about the release of oil from strategic reserves, he said, "I don't think it's correct to say it has not made a difference at all. This is an action to help to stabilize global oil prices." Another factor affecting gas prices over the past year has been challenges in increasing production.
The chair recognizes the gentlewoman from California, Ms. Spear, for 5 minutes.
I ask unanimous consent to revise and extend my remarks.
Without objection.
Madam Speaker and members, everyone knows what a lemon car is, but we have a fleet of lemon ships. They're called the literal combat ship, except it's a misnomer because it's not survivable in combat. Today we're calling it the leaking, cracked ships. And let me tell you why. If the LCS was a car sold in America today, they'd be deemed lemons and the automakers would be sued into oblivion. But in the federal government, it's big business as usual. $50 billion over the lifetime of the program. That's a lot of rotten lemons. My concerns and warnings about the LCS go back a decade, along with the late Senator John McCain. It's costing taxpayers billions of dollars, yet has failed to produce a reliable ship. So I was stunned and outraged to see that the proposed 2023 Defense Appropriations Bill only decommissions 4 LCS when it should be 9, as President Biden and the Navy has proposed. The annual cost of 5 LCS ships could pay for 8 child care centers in the military, 4 barracks, or a $1,000 bonus for every enlisted E3 and below. The LCS program's legendary failures have made it the subject of 2 government accountability reports, Those reports found each LCS costing an astounding $59 million a year to operate, or actually not to operate, because they are more often than not in dock because they aren't working. That's 3/4 of the cost of operating a destroyer, which has 3 times the crew and a much greater capability, such as anti-submarine warfare. And LCS is notoriously unreliable, plagued by breakdowns that have seen some ships spend more time in the repair yard than in deployment. On this chart, you will see the USS Little Rock, commissioned in 2017, lost power at sea in 2022. In March 2018, it was stranded in ice for 3 months on its maiden voyage. Or how about the USS Milwaukee, commissioned November 15th? In December 2015, it broke down due to software malfunctions and was towed 40 miles. Or how about the USS Freedom, commissioned in 2008, in 2011 had a 6-inch crack in the hull, in 2013 immobilized during trial run, in February 2016 coupling crack, in August of 2016 engine replacement needed. So what do we have going here? The GAO found that the LCS had experienced engine failure in 10 of the 11 deployments reviewed. The aluminum hull of the Independence class punctures easily. I mean, this is not funny. This is real money. And the combining gear for all Freedom-class ships must be replaced. One major reason for the excessive cost of LCS: contractors. Unlike other ships where sailors do the maintenance, LCS relies almost exclusively on contractors who own and control the technical data needed to maintain and repair. So what is this ship's mission, and what does it contribute to national security? Nothing. The Navy says it plans to use the LCS for partner engagement as a replacement for obsolete minesweepers for long-range fire capability and for counter-drug activities. But the LCS are not well suited for minesweeping due to their lack of endurance, and their already years-late mine countermeasure package isn't even operational. Our top priority in national defense strategy is China and Russia. We can't waste scarce funds on costly LCS when there are more capable platforms like destroyers, attack submarines, and the new Constellation-class frigate. Most importantly, the cost of sustaining LCS isn't just felt in lost dollars, but lost lives. The Navy has a severe undermanning problem. Our surface fleet is 15% undermanned compared to required levels for safe operation. The average sailor is overworked and gets 6 hours or less of sleep per night.